As with all insects, the eye organ of the butterfly is highly unique and complex. Monarchs, along with nearly all other Lepidoptera species, possess compound eyes which act like bundles of thousands of miniature eye structures called facets. While these facets all have lenses that enable the passing of light, they lack the same degree of clarity that mammalian eyes possess. In addition, the size of facets are remarkably small, meaning that each individual single unit can only observe a very small portion of surroundings. However, the large rounded shape of the butterfly's eyes allow for far greater perspective, with surroundings from all sides of the butterfly having some degree of visual clarity. The evolution of color vision in the butterfly eye was key to providing these insects with visual perception, especially when identifying host plants or nectar sources. The evolution of this visual function followed a convergent evolutionary path to that of primates, whereby a series of 4 base pair substitutions enabled the butterfly's common ancestor to perceive a blue spectral shifts. In simple terms, this blue spectral shifts allowed insects to detect when objects are getting closer, thus enhancing their ability to visualize their immediate and peripheral surroundings. With this mutation developed, coevolutionary relationships with future species could be influenced by visual perception. When looking specifically at the monarch butterfly's visual perception, this evolutionary trajectory helps explain important relations shared with the milkweed. The developmental history in eye organ development greatly enhanced the monarch's ability to perceive their host plants. The convergence of eye evolution and sensory evolution in the monarch helped strengthen color-based memory pathways, which allowed them to perceive milkweed flowers for nectar and leaves for egg laying. Within 8 days of adulthood, monarch specimens are able to recognize colors and remember new pigments through wavelength detection. Many of the evolutionary mechanisms observed in the monarch's visual sensory systems can be explained by pigmentation processes in the milkweed. As milkweed specimens age, UV radiation emitted from leaves changes in intensity and detectability. More specifically, young specimens of the plant undergo a spectral peak, whereby UV radiation is easiest to detect for UV-sensitive vision. In mature plants, the UV spectral peak declines, making the plants less visually stimulating to monarchs. Remember that convergence of visual and sensory evolution we were talking about earlier? Well, heightened color perception combined with a great memory for colors in the modern monarch has helped cultivate a highly effective reproductive strategy. Working within the developmental constraints of pre-existing color vision evolution, monarchs gradually evolved neural sensory pathways to remember and detect young milkweed plants based on their UV spectral peak. When searching for host plants, females disproportionately visit young milkweed plants to lay eggs, an instinct largely driven by the heightened UV radiation emitted from such specimens. Just as the monarch's reproductive strategy has been made possible by eye evolution, this strategy also maximizes larval success. Younger milkweed specimens have lower latex content, making leaves easier to consume and digest for caterpillars. Just as monarch evolution helped overcome a variety of milkweed defensive adaptations, their visual evolution has indirectly crafted a uniquely timed reproductive strategy maximizing the rate of milkweed intake. This clear relationship shared between monarchs and milkweed on the front of pigmentation reflects strong coevolution, but also interspecies sensitivity and vulnerability. Should changes come to the life cycle, growth rate, or location of milkweed communities, the carefully timed reproductive instincts of pregnant monarchs might be thwarted, contributing to dampened reproduction and declining population rates over time.